What's good, everybody? It's your boy Eddie here, and welcome back to the channel. And I hope you're all having a wonderful day. And for today's video, we're going to be reviewing a very special and limited edition pair of sneakers. So before we even continue this video, guys, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below, as well as that notification bell. And something to briefly note, guys, is that your boy is almost at that 6,000 subscriber mark. Last month, I went crazy with the subscription, so please definitely be sure to subscribe to the channel. Your boy is right there, and just know that you always gonna get the latest and greatest reviews with the inspiration, with all the details and all the info on the shoes. So definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button, guys. Share with your friends and your family if you're already subscribed to the channel. And now let's just get right into what you guys are here for, which is none other than the Nike Dunk Low What the Duck and the home colorway. And guys, definitely based off of first impressions, I do have to say that this is a very clean shoe. Honestly, I'm going to say that I do prefer the actual away colorway. That one has a little bit more of my style. I do like that they use a lot of premium materials though on this home colorway, but for me, I would definitely prefer the away colorway as opposed to this home colorway. And something else to note right here, guys, is I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that right there. That's pretty disappointing. So GOAT actually shipped this with some damage on them, and I was actually able to get this from the GOAT drop due to my boy Mark for, you know, hooking all that type of stuff up. Shout out to you, bro, for hooking it up. But I am very disappointed in GOAT, because how can you say that this is a brand new sneaker when it has a whole hole in the actual chrome detail right there? And I already reached out to them and they offered me $20 GOAT credit or a full refund for GOAT credit. Again, guys, this was a $275 shoe with New York City taxes as well, some $15 shipping or something like that. So this was a $315 shoe overall. And for me to pay that amount for a pair of retail sneakers and get this bad quality version of it, that definitely is very disappointing. And on top of that, the customer service was not good at all. Obviously, I'm waiting for a response back because I was like, hey, can I get a full refund on this? I still haven't gotten word back from that, but knowing GOAT, they are pretty strict on that. So we're gonna have to handle that once that conversation comes to a close. Hopefully it's, you know, a good type of close, but right now their customer service isn't the best. But I do hope that they come around to fix this, because look at this right here, man. Imagine paying over $300 for a pair of retail sneakers and getting some defects like this. I don't know how this even passed the quality control line. This is probably one of the most absurd things that I have ever seen on a retail pair of sneakers. Obviously, it was a high retail, so you would think that with that high retail price, they would do some extra checks and balances to ensure that the sneaker was good. So again, very disappointed about that. But something else that I do briefly want to mention, guys, is the fact that I just finished recording a sponsorship video from a third-party reselling platform. I'm not going to say the name yet because I want to save that for the next up and coming video. I definitely am very excited to be doing that, but they do have way better customer service than we received on this right here. And I do have a story as to why I'm saying that. But again, I will save that story for the sponsorship video. So now let's just briefly go over into the box details on this sneaker. And I do have to say, guys, that I do love this box. Again, I do not want that bad experience to ruin the whole experience of this review. So when we actually look at this box detail right here, we do have a very unique dunk box right here. And then when you go right below that, you can see that it does say Oregon Ducks right there. And then right below that, it does say limited. And then when you actually go around the whole entire box, the rest of it is pretty simple. And then when you turn up to this side of the box right here, you can see the sticker tag, and it does read off as Nike Dunk Low UO Premium. And obviously the UO stands for the University of Oregon. And then the Premium stands for premium, of course. And then when looking at the colorway, it does say black, apple green, and vivid pink. And then when it comes to the sizing of this sneaker, I 100% recommend to go true to size, or whatever your standard regular dunk size is. Make sure you go with your regular standard dunk sizing and you should be perfectly fine. Then when opening the lid right here, you can see that we do have another fire detail, which is none other than the Ducks of a Feather QR code right here. So if you were to actually scan this, this will take you to the Ducks of a Feather website, which I'll get into later into the history of the video. And then one more thing to mention about inside of the box is the fact that we do have this customized regular standard white wax tissue paper, but it does have the University of Oregon logos all over it. So now let's just focus onto the history of this shoe. And again, I do prefer the away colorway, but I do love the significance of what this home colorway actually goes into. So when actually looking at both sides of the shoe right here, the inspiration behind it is actually the jerseys of the Oregon Ducks football team, which I think is a pretty dope detail. But again, guys, when looking at the what the feature, it's actually a mix of several different uniforms and jerseys from the Oregon Ducks for the past couple of decades, which I think is a very nice touch. And I also love that it taps into the Nike What The series, because we've had a lot of What The Dunks, we've had What The Bronze, we had a What The Kobe. Nikes. We had a whole bunch of what the sneakers, what the P-Rods. Like, there's been a bunch, and I think that this is very nice that Nike was able to add the what the feature to the Oregon Ducks. You guys are not familiar with where the Nike headquarters is located in. It's in Beaverton, Oregon, which is obviously the same state that the Ducks play for, so there's a special connection right there. And I love that they were able to do that. And something else to note is the fact that this was created in partnership with the Division Street DUAF, also known as the Ducks of a Feather program, which is basically a NIL or name, image, likeness program that helps the athletes get paid. So more specifically, the football athlete for this specific pair. But I definitely believe that this was a special and important shoe to have released this year. But again, my experience has not been the best because I paid a significant amount of money for this sneaker and didn't get the best experience. But overall, if you guys want to buy these sneakers for resale, I think it's definitely worth it because the quality on the sneaker is very premium. I don't know what GOAT did, but it looked like somebody burnt like a cigarette or something on it. It looks crazy if you actually look at it up close and personal. So again, your pair shouldn't come out like this. This isn't the first, second, third, fourth, or 10th time I've received a defective sneaker from either Nike or a resale platform or anything like that. So, you know, it is what it is on that. When you get a bunch of sneakers like me, you're bound to see some BS happen down the line. But it is what it is on that, guys. So that's going to conclude the history of the sneaker. So now let's focus on to the details of it. So specifically, I'm going to start off on the left shoe because I do love how the colorway looks on this side of the shoe. Also, the defect isn't on this pair, so let's start with that and then save like the worst part for last. So when we actually look at the toe box right here, you can see that we do have an all black toe box with some 3M piping surrounding that mudguard area. So I do think that's a very nice touch and helps the shoe pop. Then when looking at the mudguard area, you can see that we do have it in this light gray colorway. And something else to note is that this is definitely a premium shoe because if you actually rub the mudguard area or if you rub the toe box area, the suede has that backstroke motion effect, which definitely means that this is a more premium quality suede, which I think is a very nice touch. Then when looking at the lace situation, you can see that we do have the standard black laces right here. And on this left side of the shoe, you do get two pairs of laces, which is none other than this pink lace as well as this Volt lace. And then when looking at the lace on the right sneaker, you can see that we do have these yellow laces right here. Then when focusing back onto the left side of the shoe, guys, you can see that on this eyelet area, we do have this patent leather detail. Then when focusing onto the medial side of the eyelet, you can see that we do have this carbon fiber gray detail eyelet, which I think is a pretty nice touch. Then when focusing onto the tongue detail, you can see that we do have this black mesh tongue. And then finally, when going onto the tongue tab, you can see that we do have this Volt Nike logo right here with a pink outline. Then when you actually turn this tongue over, you can see that it says the year 24, and then the name says what the, obviously this is the what the Duck. So again, very nice touch overall. Then looking at the medial side of the shoe, you can see that we do have this charcoal quarter panel right here in the center. Then when looking at this Nike check, we do have it in that Oregon green right there, as well as this embroidered yellow stitch detail. Then when going towards the back heel area of this shoe now, you can see that we do have this kind of glossy black feather detail, which I think is a very nice touch. Then when turning onto the back heel area of the shoe now, you can see that we do have that DUAF or Ducks of a Feather detail in that pink and black colorway. And then finally, when going onto the medial side of the shoe, you can see that we do have this kind of silver chrome feather detail. And then we do have this 3M piping surrounding this pink Nike check right here. However, if you actually look closer, you can see that we do have some 3-point stars on the actual Nike check itself, which is very similar to the Mercedes-Benz logo, but you can just call that pattern a 3-point star. Then something else to note, guys, when looking at the midsole of the shoe is the fact that we do have an all Volt midsole with no extra details on it. Then finally, when going onto the outsole of the shoe, we do have this translucent black outsole, which I think is a pretty nice touch. And then when actually looking right here, we do have that Nike logo. Now that's gonna conclude the left side of the shoe. So now let's just focus on to the right side of it. So again, when we actually look at the toe box right here, it is in this black suede detail. Then when looking at the mudguard itself, we do have it in a darker gray, which is pretty interesting to note. Then when looking at the Nike check right here, you can see that it is in that Volt colorway in comparison to the left side having that yellow mini Nike check right there. Something else to note is the fact that we do have some more 3M piping on this mudguard area as well. And then when moving towards the top of the shoe, the same thing pretty much follows suit. So we do have a black pair of laces right here with that black mesh tongue. However, when we actually look at the eyelets, that's where things differ. So instead of having that green patent leather detail, we do have a green nubuck detail on the eyelet. And then when going onto the lateral side of the eyelet area, you can see that we do have this black carbon fiber detail right here, which I do think is a pretty nice detail to note. Then when looking at the top of the tongue tab, we do have this DUAF logo right here, or Ducks of a Feather, whatever you want to call it. in this kind of Volt colorway, which I think is a pretty nice touch. And then surrounding that, we do have this yellow lining on the top. And then when we turn the tongue around, the same thing pretty much follows suit as the left side. So it does say what the and the year 2024. And then finally, when going onto the lateral side of this shoe, something that I do want to note is that we do get a nice Oregon Duck emblem right there in this multicolored detail, which I think is a pretty nice touch to the shoe. Obviously, you can take it off if you don't like it, but it is there if you want to keep it. Also, something else to note is the fact that we do have this Oregon Duck green detail in the quarter panel area. And then when looking at the Nike check, we do have it in this yellow glossy detail right here and this black stitching, which I think is a pretty nice touch. Then going towards the back of the shoe now, you can see that we do have this diamond plated detail right here, which is inspired by one of the jerseys that they wore back in the mid 2000s, if I'm not mistaken. But something else to note is the fact that those silver diamond plated details is actually 3M, which is definitely going to make the shoe pop. Then when going towards the back heel area of the shoe now, you can see that we do have that Nike logo right there and that Volt green colorway. And then finally, guys, when going onto the medial side of the shoe, this is probably the most disappointing feature for me. It is a very nice feature, but obviously mine came with a defect. We do have that 3-point star detail and that foily reflective detail. But anyways, when focusing onto the Nike check right there, you can see that we do have it in that green patent leather detail and that we do have some 3M piping surrounding that. Also on the inside of this quarter panel of the medial side, we do have it in this yellow detail. And then when going onto the midsole of the shoe, you can see that we do have this all yellow midsole right here. Then finally, when going onto this side of the outsole, it pretty much resembles the outsole of the left shoe, but instead of having that green tint due to the midsole, it does have that yellow tint since this does have a yellow midsole. And pretty much, guys, that's all the details of the shoe. I just want to show you one more feature that does come with the shoe, which I truly enjoy, which is none other than the actual insole of it. And this one isn't too difficult to take off, so that's going to be fast. And we do have this multicolored Oregon Ducks feature right here on the insole. So at the bottom, we do have the duck itself, which I think looks really nice on the shoe, but definitely this is a premium looking shoe. Other than my defect overall, I think that this is definitely going to be a cop for a lot of people. So other than that, guys, that's going to conclude the history as well as the details of the shoe. So now let's get right into this on full look, guys. Alright, y'all, so that's going to conclude the reviews was the on full look, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making it for y'all. Again, I am excited to have this in hand. Unfortunately, my experience was a little messed up due to the fact that my sneaker did come with a big defect. Usually I look past all the defects because sneakers tend to have them unless they have excellent quality control, but this defect was unacceptable, especially with the customer service that I received from GOAT. And it's just like, I'm a big customer. I buy a lot from y'all. I sell a lot to y'all. And it's just crazy how I was like, yo, $20 credit, or you can refund it for credit instead of getting the money that you paid for it. That's absolutely ridiculous to me. But anyways, it is what it is on that, guys. Anyways, definitely be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, share with your friends and family and all that. And guys, we are almost at that 6K. So if you are already subscribed to the channel, definitely be sure to share with your friends and family. And if you're not, subscribe to the channel right now. And with that being said, y'all, I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.